Thank you for everyone coming today. We really appreciate everyone taking the time out of their day and their busy schedules to show us some appreciation, because I know myself, my partner Ed, and everyone else in our class worked really hard to deliver our projects. Even if the end result may not totally appear that way, a lot goes into trying to create a web application that actually has good functionality in a matter of a few weeks. With that said, I'm Nick, this is Edward, and our web app is called TRAV. We don't have, before I go into this, we didn't have an about me, but I'm a civil engineer currently. From Miami. Edward's from...
I work at Apple on the beach. I'm from Miami. I've been at Apple for like a really long time, and I'm trying to kind of get out, so this is my route.
Yeah, we both enjoy coding, and we're enjoying the adventure that it's brought us. So TRAV, our slogan is seek your adventure, stay for free. The best way that I think that we could put it or sum it up in sort of a one-line thing is Tinder meets Airbnb. Basically, it's a home swap. The user create an account, upload his home information, some pictures, and then can put a travel request. Let's say you want to travel for August coming up. If another user somewhere around the world, different city, different country, has a similar request that matches those time dates, they'll be shown that those results will come up to the user, and then you can dislike homes, and eventually you come a match, and then you can swap your home.
I think the cool part to this is that there's kind of a discovery that goes with it, right? So you don't necessarily know where you're going, so you don't know the destination, but you know that you want to travel, right? Like you're like, I want to take a vacation in a month or 2 months, and this will allow you to kind of see, okay, where could I go? Like, what are the possibilities? And then essentially, you meet up with someone, and then you switch and discover something new.
So just to break down some of the milestones, and hopefully not go too technical. Initially, it was just kind of breaking down what we were going to need and what was going to be involved with it. So, we didn't do anything fancy, but we used a Google Doc that I think helped us both to really break things out and assign the different aspects to each of us. Once we got that settled, we started working with the back end. For those that don't know, the back end development is really where I would say the meat and potatoes, the functionality of any website really works. Nothing against any UI, UX people in here or any front-end developers, but I mean, any functionality of any website happens through the back end. So we did that after we broke it down. We knew our routes were going to be kind of pretty extensive just from the queries or the searching of our database that we were going to need after to match someone else's previous request, specified by criteria, but by the dates. So we wanted to tackle that first. Once we finished that, we jumped to creating Angular, which we hadn't used in our project number 2. That was sort of the new sort of feature that we were using. And that is part of the front end, and that allows us to use single-page applications. So for those that have used Facebook, usually most of your actions are you're clicking, and you're not traveling to you're not being rerouted to a whole other website. Everything's just changing in place. So think about that. That's what Angular helps you do. After we finished with that, then we started with the CSS and HTML styling. Like always, we left that towards the end, and well, you'll see. And after that, we deployed to Heroku, which was a challenge, as everyone has mentioned already. And that's it. Now we changed the world. A few of the sketches, not going to go too dev. I can't even tell. It's my handy craftsmanship. But basically, we try to create the user flow ahead of time to just kind of not go in blindly. So this is basically it. And actually, this is probably the closest thing to our current dashboards. So this is probably the final iteration. Project challenges. Like I said, the database, we were going to have to do a bunch of searches to our database, and they were going to be pretty complex routes. Creating the flow and layout of the web app is always difficult for people who I guess tend to be more of the developing and the back-end mindset and not so of the creative. And then deployment to Heroku. And then last thing, but definitely the biggest thing, was just time management estimations. I think all of us work in the class, and that was definitely a challenge to work and then also do it. What people are saying. I mean, with this app, I'm confident to plan a trip to rural Vietnam. We'll change the way people travel forever. And actually, Alan, I didn't know, but you actually made a comment yourself. You said, "Can't believe I haven't used this before." Well, thank you.
Thank you, Alan.
I think that does it for, okay, now we can show.
This is the app.
Oh, please. Yeah, there we go. All right. Boom. So the idea, we didn't want to go too crazy. We wanted to keep it kind of clean and simple. So that was the look we were going for. And this is our sign up. We have a little bit of like a tutorial on like what the steps are for the actual website. And then we'll log in. So forgive that, but we've already went ahead and did a lot of this stuff so that we weren't messing around with it during the thing. But the user, when the user first logs on, they don't see their travel request because they haven't created yet. First, the user has to add their home, the pictures, their address, and then once they do that, the travel request bar becomes available where they can add their request. They put in the information that they're looking for, and then eventually, when they get results, they can click on results and see other matching results. And in that way, they see that. They see, we don't give the whole address right up front. We just obviously give the city so that they get an idea of where it is, the type of residences, whether it's a home, an apartment, with the pictures, and then they can like and dislike, which we have working. Boom. Did it already move?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it happens so quickly, and we're not using an extensive array of different pictures, but that's the beauty of Angular. Like, he hit like, and it already moved up to the top for the next result. And what else?
So
and then
then,
yeah, go ahead.
So when you like a page, or when you like a home, or another person's like travel request home, if they like yours as well, then it shows up on the bottom here under connections. And that'll basically, it gives you the information of the other person, so then you can start communicating with them. You can say, okay, well, it looks like we matched here. It's kind of like Tinder in that sense, where you kind of, if you guys are familiar with it, you know, you swipe like you like or not like, and if the other person also does that, then there's like a matchup. So this is essentially the same thing. So once there are those two likes, you can kind of communicate with each other and then, you know, plan the logistics of like, you know, actually trading homes with that person and, you know, what the best route to do that is.
Yeah, that would be another future feature that we'd want to tackle, is the whole communication between the two users once they've actually connected, and then they can exchange information and actually hit it like a confirmation button, because obviously if you're swapping homes, you don't want to like commit to something and then the other person backs out. So that's
Basically
that's a game changer. So thank you for coming, everyone.